What do you think's the biggest threat to mankind right now?
Right now is population collapse.
People ask me, do you have children? And I say no.
Freaked a lot of people out when we were just a young married couple, and that was all. There was no baby afterwards.
Don't we have an overpopulation
Yeah.
problem?
No, we have an underpopulation problem.
Really?
Yeah.
They always look at me then and say, oh, I'm sorry. As if like there's something like physically wrong with me.
Reproduction is often seen as natural and necessary part of life, but is natural always good? In this video, I challenge the idea that procreation is inherently justified, exploring how human reasoning allows us to question and resist nature's harsh realities, ultimately making the case for antinatalism as an ethical choice. Reproduction is a fundamental biological process observed in nearly all species on Earth. Many argue that because reproduction is natural, it is something we are meant to do. This is a common argument used against antinatalism and child-free people. Nonetheless, just because something is natural does not mean it is good or morally justified. There are many natural events, disease, violence, and suffering that we do not consider desirable. In fact, humans strive to overcome nature. Non-consensual mating has been observed in some animal species, but humans recognize this as rape and prohibit by law. Aggression is natural, yet we do not allow it to go unchecked. Medicines fight disease and laws prevent violence. In many ways, human civilization is built on the principle of resisting and mitigating the harshness of nature rather than blindly following it. If suffering is intrinsic to existence, then preventing birth is a way to reduce that suffering rather than passively accepting it as natural. If having children is so natural, why don't humans always reproduce as much as biologically possible? Unlike non-human animals, humans have rational agency. We can reflect on our choices rather than acting purely on biological impulses. Humans, for example, intentionally limit the number of children they have through contraception. Even the most passionate advocates of procreation as natural do not aim to have the maximum possible number of children. Why? Because there is always some reasoning behind their decision to stop at a certain point. Whether it's concerns about health after childbirth, financial limitations, or other personal factors. While many people use reasoning to decide against having a third or fourth child, antinatalists simply apply reasoning to the very first child, choosing not to have any at all. Antinatalism argues that no children should be born in the first place, as bringing a child into existence imposes a life on a being who never consented to it. Since life inevitably involves suffering and harm, while non-existence entails no suffering at all, procreation is deeply immoral and unjustifiable. Humans do not justify violence simply because it is natural. In the same way, we should not justify reproduction simply because it is natural. If we recognize that suffering should be avoided, then the choice to refrain from bringing new life into existence is a rational and ethical decision.